Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, I'm going to cover how to mod a AK, HK, M4 and an SA58 to get the lowest recoil possible and to pretty much make it the best gun you can possibly make with the current modifications in the game. Now these are going to change all the time, so check out the date below, and if it's been like multiple months, it's a good chance that these might be slightly changed and there might be some tweaks you can do to actually make them better. So anyway guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So before I go any further, I actually found this website today, or this spreadsheet. I actually don't know who this person is. Heaps of guys in my chat said they use it, and I actually cross-referenced my best in slot modifications compared to this. I'll put a link down below, but whoever this guy is, Virian, has done an excellent job, and I highly suggest popping in here. If anyone knows actually if he's a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber, let me know and I'll put a link down to his channel, because this would have taken a lot of effort, and literally you can just go to here and pick out any of these options. Now I have found some changes from when he's updated this spreadsheet last, because at the moment it says the 16th of April, but it's still very good just for a quick reference to see what mods I could be getting on a gun to make it better. So now moving on to the actual guns that I'm using. So with the AK, you got two choices. If you want to have the actual best in slot, you would want to use the AK-74N, but if you like using a foldable stock, then the AK-74M works just as good. It's about 15 more recoil for horizontal and 3 for vertical, but these are the modifications I've got. Now I'm going to put shortcut links down below so you can actually see all these images, make it nice and quick and easy. The things that stand out here is you can switch out an RK2 for a different foregrip. It's the foregrip that I used, or I've got on this HK here. It's the B25U. Now, you do miss out on a little bit of recoil. I think it's about 1%, but you get 5 more ergonomics. Now, ergonomics does do a lot more to the game now. It used to do pretty much nothing, but with ergonomics now, it'll make it so you've got less stamina drain when you're aiming down your sight and stuff like that. So it does really come down to your personal preference. But when you come to the AK-74N or M, I would suggest going to the N. Now, the total cost of this build, the AK-74N will set you back around 200,000 rubles. And same with the M. Slightly cheaper with the M, just because the stock on the N is actually from Peacekeeper. I'll have a link down below to a spreadsheet where you can grab all this information on where they are, what they cost, and all the part names. So make it nice and quick. Now, moving over to the HK versus M4 battle. Now, this is actually became really interesting. I've liked what Battlestate Games has actually done for a change. Instead of making the HK just the best one overall, the argument would be that the HK was always better because it has a faster firing rate, where you got 850 rounds per minute here, with the M4 only being 800. Now, the MDR is a lot less. I didn't even bother doing it. There's not many modifications for it. Not really worth your time. Things to point out with this, though. Now with the HK and the M4, the actual M4 has a lower recoil. You can now put a RSAS suppressor onto the HK, and this will get you the lowest recoil possible. You can change out the B25 stock. You can change out the B25 foregrip and put on the other one, and this will make it a lot closer to the recoil of each other. But overall, the M4 is slightly better, so it comes down to personal preference. I would say the HK is still better because that 50 rounds per minute, the extra couple of bullets that you will get out in the same time as an M4 could save your life. Points to note here, with the M4, I've done heaps of messing about. With the new jailbreak mount on the front of the M4, you can put some muzzles, but it won't let you put them all on, and that's why you need to get the VP-09 on there. And as well as you can now put on what's called these Magpul rear iron sights and front sights. And what they actually do is they give you +1 ergonomics. Now, they're not very expensive. They're about 3,000 rubles, and that's +2 to ergonomics. But if you are trying to max out these weapons to make them best possible, it's always a good option to chuck those little things on, because it's not very expensive. Now, personally, when I modify guns, I buy like 5 or 6 or 10 at a time. Just so I'm buying all the parts, saving a heap of messing about between raids, doing all my modding. Now, another thing to point out with the M4, with the stock, you can get this other buffer tube. Now, there's a red one out now, which is new for 11.7, and then there's the advanced one, which is also new for 11.7, but the difference is The recoil and ergonomics is exactly the same, but it's got plus 5% accuracy. Now, the wiki guys told me that this is kind of to do with your spray pattern and how tight of a grouping. These are selling for around 70 to 80,000 rubles. So this is a personal choice. If you really want to get that extra 5% accuracy and reduce the spray pattern, but I haven't done enough testing to actually see if it makes any difference. And from what I can tell, the money spent on fully pimping out an AK or an M4, you're better off going best bang for buck these days, because the passive skills are probably more important. If you just use those guns more, the passive skills will actually get your recoil down lower. And like, think about it, you're spending an extra, let's say this was an extra 70,000 rubles for an extra 2% recoil reduction. Well, if you had 2 more levels in recoil control, that is your 2% recoil reduction, and it saves you 70,000 rubles from that point onwards. So you got to think of it like that. I personally like bang for buck, but this is a guide for how to pimp them out to be best in slot. Now, when we move over to the SA58, with this one, you do have the certain options on how you want to do it. Personally, I like to buy the actual long SA58. You purchase this one from Mechanic 3, and it's about $939. So from here, there's actually not a lot of modifications you need to do. It's just pretty much the foregrip. You can change the stock out. Now, with the differences of the stock, you can change to the M4 MOE stock, or you can use the other stock from the SA58 sold from Mechanic 4. Price difference is actually cheaper to go with the SA58 stock, but it does have slightly less ergonomics. Now, we're talking like 1 or 2 points, so it's not a big deal. But for the ease of actually modding it out, I would probably just go with the SA58 stock personally. Some things to note here. This is a new suppressor being added in, or muzzle brake added in 11.7, and this is by far the best muzzle brake for this gun. So that's probably the major change from anything in the past. Everything else is pretty much the exact same as before. It's quick and easy to mod these out. So if you are a bit lazier like myself at times, this would be the best way to get into raids quickly with a high-powered gun. The magazine you do have to do a barter trade for, but it's not too expensive. You can get plenty of them up on the flea market. Now, I'm not going to actually do any more videos on how to mod these guns out to be the best. I think that guy's spreadsheet is actually pretty cool, but hopefully with 12.0 only being a few months away, let's just hope it is a few months away, the new modding system is actually going to be amazing. Now, this is a video from Tarkov TV, the third podcast, but the way it's pretty much going to work with the new modding system is you're going to go into a build, and you're going to select all these different items that you've seen in your handbook, make it into a build, and then from there, you'll actually save it, so it's got a name, being like, AK-74 and assault rifle, and then you can literally just, I'm going to skip ahead, because I don't want to waste you guys' time that much, but once you've actually selected it, you'll save the name. Then you can go into up the top left, and you'll be able to assemble it. And if you don't have the parts, you can buy it all in one click. And this is going to make modding so much faster. You can just pimp out these guns, buy all the parts, easy peasy lemon squeezy, chuck it all together, and so you'll have your build saved in your handbook. You'll chuck it all together, and this is going to be just a new quality of life. It's going to be next level. I'm so excited for it. Another thing that you can actually notice here, and I'll just wait for it to get into the build, right next to where it says open, just down from it, there actually is published. And I'm hoping this is like, you get like a 20 serial code number or something, and you can give these to your mates. So for example, if someone's on the gunsmith task, you can give these codes to your mate that's on the gunsmith task, and he'll automatically have the loadout for his handbook. You can just save all those ones in there, hand it in for those tasks, and it's just done. And then you can have, like, I can make a video saying this is the best in slot M4, have the images of all the guns, or all the best in slot guns for let's say 2019 May. I'll have all the codes in the description, so you can grab all the codes, or in a spreadsheet, and you can have my reasons why. I can chuck that in there, and you guys can quickly just open up one of these codes, and it's going to be awesome. Like, I'm really excited for this whole system, but just how easily it's going to become just to mod out a gun. It's just going to be... I'm excited. The quality of life in this is just next level for me. And there you have it. He's got his gun modded out. So guys, I'm trying to keep this video as short and sweet as possible, but go down the link below. I'll have 2 spreadsheets down there. One for the for Virian's spreadsheet, which actually looks really amazing. It's really well put together. I'm going to chuck mine down there with my modifications for my best in slots so you guys can see which trader sells them, how much they're for, and use that as a quick reference point. But guys, thanks for watching another video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content. I do stream on Twitch every day of the week, so go down the link below. Give me a follow over there. If you got any Tarkov questions, guys, feel free to hit me up on my live stream or down in the comments below. And lastly, I'll see you next time. Beep, bop, bop, ba, bop. Bop, bop, ba, bop. Beep, bop, bop, ba, bop. I'm the scat man.